Okay, we're here.
We're live. We're doing
All
it
right.
live.
Doing it live. Pretty
All
cool.
right. Everything's great.
Everything is awesome. But yeah, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Doing
I'm doing fine
okay.
too.
Eli's doing it. Eli's here. Hi, Eli.
He's doing it live in some sense, whatever.
Yeah.
Doing it live.
Like always, the same general shit.
Yeah. Same shit, different day. Yeah.
Eric, you have a Half-Life 2 shirt on.
Yeah, I do.
That's cool.
It has this like hand with the lambda symbol on it.
It's good.
Gonna spend like $700 on virtual reality system thing to play the new
No.
one.
I'm wearing a Dungeon Punks t-shirt.
Oh yeah, with the art done by the Business Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, Eli Gordon Freeman. That's right.
Sometimes the right person at the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Or
Yep.
something like that.
It was something
That's
like that.
basically
Yeah.
what he said.
It was cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a real shame they never continued with it. I mean, I guess they're making that Alex thing, so at least that means they're working with it to a point. But
Yeah, I guess.
like, why they don't
Hey
just
Dave, nice to have you
work
here.
with it, I don't know.
Hey Dave.
I don't know if I saw like the outtakes and stuff for Half-Life 2. I feel I probably did years ago. Like, when did Half-Life 2 come out? Like 15 years ago? Like,
Nah, it's not that much. Well, yes, actually, yes,
it probably is because it came out like right before we went to college.
Yeah, you're right. So it's about 15 years.
Well, it's
Goddamn.
probably long. Yeah, like holy shit.
2004.
Yes, that's a while ago. Damn.
That's something else.
Yeah,
That's
damn.
something else.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess
Episode 3 is a lie.
we can get started with Hobby Hoedowns. Eric, I have a picture of the tiles you're working on, so it looks like you're
Yeah, I feel I
painting
got
like a second one.
yeah, about 2 of them are basically done, or at least I want to get the at least the other 2 up to this point before maybe I try to maybe add some hazard striping or something like that. So I haven't really had much time in the last few days to do any painting. I mean, I don't know, spoilers perhaps, but like I've been spending a lot of time recently editing the second volume of the 28 magazine, so that's coming hopefully soon. So that will be good.
It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Coming our way. Hey, Vox. Vox is here.
Nice to have you here.
So you're seeing that faster than I'm seeing it through Streamlabs. Like
I'm seeing it on YouTube. I'm on YouTube.
Oh, you're on YouTube, so maybe that's it.
Yeah.
YouTube might be better. But yeah, so the oh shit. So now I'm getting a whole bunch of comments. I don't know, I think Streamlabs is struggling this evening. What does Eli say? There is a part when the scientist who says, Gordon Freeman, but he says Gordon Jackson like 10 times, growing increasingly angrier with himself each time. It's great.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
That's pretty great.
Get your trusty crowbar and your hazard suit. Good times. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe next week I'll be able to get back to finishing the other tiles.
Are you gonna get any of the other like all kids and stuff that they're releasing?
I would like to, but it's like $80 for like 6 of the little things in a couple wall sections, which is not enough to fill up even 4 of the tiles. So it's kind of prohibitively expensive. So I feel I'll get some because
I'll
what
get some
else?
for you.
What else will I do with this? But they're unfortunately expensive. And I also realized that I should really probably paint at least 2 more of the tiles. So there'll be 6, because then it would be kind of the kill team dimensions, or close to the standard kill team dimensions, which would be good.
That would be good.
Yeah, so it is funny that the Forge World stuff might have been cheaper. Certainly cheaper before, like there was the Forge World price hikes. But I mean, then they would be resin though, so I think I would rather pay more to not have resin. So
yeah, I agree.
Because they're these large pieces of resin that are probably all warped and garbage.
I mean, when did they come? They came out a few years ago, so there was a chance they were at a period of time when
possibly they came out right, probably about when Imperial Onward 9 and 10 came out. The Bad Abor stuff, or at least that had rules for Zone Mortalis, and that was probably before we started the blog. So at least 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, so there's a chance they were still really bad back then.
They were likely garbage. So yeah, I don't know. The plastic's nice. So
yeah, no, I'd much rather work with the plastic. Yeah. So I guess in terms of what I've been working on that Eldar Corsair model that we showed some pictures on Instagram of the model, or a picture of the model on Instagram. And he's coming along pretty well. He's pretty big. Like, he's pretty much about the size, or about as tall, if not slightly taller, than one of the Primaris Space Marine models. He's much, like, thinner, but he's about that size, so he's going to be quite imposing.
it's cool to see him kind of coming together.
Yeah, I mean, last evening was the first time I ever even sort of tried to piece all of it together to give a sense of kind of what he would look like in the end. So, I'm pretty happy with him. I think there's still a lot that I need to do and change. Like, I feel I do need to modify the feet because they kind of look.
I have an idea for a cool diorama you could do. Since he's kind of walking forward, you could take a model kit of an Eldar jet bike with no one sitting on it, and you could have him walking towards that Eldar jet bike and then taking a picture of it, like from the top down, to be like that iconic Akira movie poster of Kaneda walking towards his bike.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Well, now that you mention it too, that pose also reminds me of the "Bring It, Motherfucker" pose from your book, which
that's good. But tonight this past evening I've been spending some time like adding more details and stuff to the model itself.
Well, we just need to get a jet bike, Greg. We might have one
and everything. So I think it's coming along pretty well. One of the things that it still shocks me for all of the Eldar models is how wide their fucking shoulders are. Like, Jesus. Like, it's ridiculous.
Wide
like,
shoulders.
I don't. And like I'm almost happy like the arms, since they're from these like wraiths, I've really been like trimming them down and trying to get them to seat as close to the body as possible. Like if you just glue like the normal like Dark Eldar arms on that, like my god. And I mean part of it's a little due to like the armor, the armored carapace and stuff up there, but like it doesn't.
Yeah, I think Eli responded with yes in all caps.
He's probably talking about Akira.
I suspect.
He should be.
Yeah. Well, what type of jet bike? One of the Eldar ones or a Dark Eldar one, or would I probably want to convert one.
I would say an Eldar one, but converted, and the
Well,
front
we
piece
actually have
would be a
Dark Eldar ones though.
Yeah, but
well, and the front piece would be like a skull face thing. That
Well,
you
we
would
could. I
sculpt.
mean, we probably have some. What do you call it? Some of the Dark Elder ones already assembled at them. You could just rip off the
we do.
and just for a mock-up.
A Dark Eldar one. Are the Dark Eldar ones cooler? But the Eldar ones are kind of like a Harley Davidson. Like,
weren't they They were
fat-
kind of
fat
redesigned
and
too.
slow for you to
No,
sit
yeah, like
on
the
a
older
chair and
the older
slowly
ones,
ride
it's
in.
like you were leaning.
Oh, they aren't
way
like that
back.
anymore, Greg.
The newer
Oh.
ones look like the
I
newer
don't
Eldar ones look like
I don't know what they look
the
like.
Dark Eldar ones.
Oh, so not the Harley Davidson jet bike where
No, they don't look
you
like
drive
they're sitting
around
back.
slowly on a Sunday afternoon trying to be cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's changed. So now they're a lot more like the Dark
hands,
Eldar ones.
Eli, for the model, they're from one of the Eldar Harlequin models.
Do people think his legs are too short? Any part of his legs too short?
This picture that we're looking at here, since his head isn't attached, it makes him look a little squatter than he actually is.
But so, like, the length of the leg looks like it's about the length of the body, a tad longer.
Yeah. I mean, so they probably could be slightly longer. God, I don't really want to make them longer, though.
They were. I feel I would slightly lengthen the thighs, maybe.
Not the shins.
Yeah.
But what's longer? Or are they about, like, well, I guess this is in a human, what's longer? Or are they about the same?
The thigh is a little shorter, typically. Right.
I
don't know my anatomy.
So. Or is it? I guess maybe it's not.
I think they're
pretty
about
similar.
the same.
In currently on this model, I feel the thigh is slightly shorter.
I think the thighs are a little longer.
On this model here?
No.
Yeah, not on this model here. Okay.
Like the femur, I think, is often slightly longer than the tibia and fibula.
Yeah.
Which is also why sometimes people who true scale their Space Marines and only extend the shins, why it's always a little questionable.
Wow, yeah, it looks kind of awkward and weird. Yeah.
Eli suggests that he thinks they look pretty good, but if anything would be lengthened, it would be the thigh.
Yeah, so part of the thing, it also looks a little weird. Like he has like like a knee pad, like a knee blade or whatever. That kind of obscures where like the actual knee is. So it almost makes it look like the thigh is a little shorter than maybe it is.
Eli mentioned something that's also kind of, but is sort of true. That says like the belt is somewhat high and can give a slight misconception as to where the hips actually are.
That's true.
I do feel that the thigh could maybe be a little bit longer.
I think Weirding Way basically suggested the same thing.
I wasn't sure. Yeah. Yeah, on Instagram he suggested. I wasn't exactly sure. I should read it again. But yeah.
It sounded like he thought you could make the thighs broader too.
Yeah.
But I would be less inclined to want to do that. But yeah, I think certainly the knee, because there's the little, extensions and such, that kind of obscures some of the fact, and it is longer than maybe it appears.
Also, his like the armored carapace on his thigh, like that also gives you an impression that the thigh is shorter than it actually is, like where it attaches to like the hips. So I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that sort of fools you into thinking one thing or another. So yeah, I don't know. I guess we've talked about this long enough, but I guess ultimately, when it comes down to it, it might not matter that much because,
yeah,
it's not really necessarily a human.
But if it's not a human, it should be longer limbs, I feel. For an Eldar, if anything, I feel like maybe the limbs should seem a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And
maybe they're a little short.
And that's sort of what I was trying to do. But I think everything you kind of like, oh my god, I extended these legs so much from the original models, and it's like, oh my god. Like the original Bone Reaper models are so short and squat. It's like outrageous.
He looks kind of like Judge Death from Judge Dredd.
He does.
He does, actually. That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
Judge Death.
Seems like another reason why I should have a jet bike.
A crime is life. A punishment, death.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to think about it, but like, fuck, I don't really want to cut off his
legs.
No.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. I'll consider it more. And like, well, I need to glue on his head and. So yeah, currently his thigh is shorter. Is definitely a little shorter than.
Life is a crime.
It sure is.
So before I forget about this, so tonight I started listening to like a punk rock band called Drug Church. Drug Church. They sound kind of like a cross between older Hot Water music and maybe Fugazi.
Good thing.
Yeah, so those are all good. Like the singer's voice sounds a lot like Chuck Reagan from Hot Water Music, kind of gruff. And what I've listened to most is they have a live session, an Audio Tree live session where they play some of the songs. And they have a song called Weed Pin, which somebody in YouTube comments suggested the song was about somebody getting fired from their pharmacy job for wearing a pin of a marijuana leaf. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But the song's fucking great. The lyrical content of the song is kind of about trying to figure out what to do with yourself and maybe not being particularly good at anything or not thinking you're good at anything. One of the main refrains is hard to choose a career when you're bad at everything, which is great. And interestingly, there's a bunch of lyrical stuff in it that speaks a little bit to doing science, like scientific research and whatnot. Like part of the lyrics are about doing a bad job of doing some science, and then because of that, the work that you did can't be trusted, and perhaps you just set back the lab you're in for years. So really great. Really great. Hard to choose a career when you're bad at everything.
Yeah. The science talk does hit a little close to home. Does hit a little close to home.
Actually, Eric just found a picture of the newer Eldar jet bikes. Like, they are so different.
They look a lot like the Dark Eldar ones now.
They're not quite as like leaning into the. They look pretty good.
I think I kind of like the Dark Elder ones though. They look a little sleeker.
They do.
The other one kind of looks like it.
Do the Harlequins have a jet bike, or is it just the
larger
the two rider jet bike? So you don't want that. Well, you probably have a fucking box of jet bikes that weren't even assembled.
I don't think I do. I think we got 2 boxes of them when they were released, and they were assembled.
That's incredible. How did that happen?
I know, it's very surprising. It's very
Bob
surprising.
says that I'm so glad in my job, it's the vet's job to be good at the science. Yeah, well, I feel in general it should be everyone in science's job to be good at it. But one of the lines in the song is something to the effect of, if you pay shit rates, you're going to get shit labor. So it's talking about places not paying very much and then expecting the employees to be great. And that's kind of where I've been working at Eurofins, Lancaster Laboratories. Everybody complains about how they pay terribly.
Well, just in general, if you're in the sciences, it's pretty bad.
But I don't think people at my job do shit work. Or for the most part, not.
That's good. That's good. The other thing that's funny about the band Drug Church, it looks like, I don't know, is for this, it's like Audio Tree. I guess the Audio Tree label is like an A with like a little pine tree in it. It really reminds me of the Stanford
logo. Yeah.
Which I think is funny.
Do you think, now that we've been somewhat talking about science and stuff, that could be a good transitioning point to talk about the Artis Opus's newest innovation in painting?
Oh yeah, like I just saw this today. So Artis Opus, they make a bunch of really nice paint brushes and such.
Like, do you have some to say that they are nice, or it's just nice?
I backed one of their Kickstarters for some of their dry brushing brushes and
never used them.
No, I haven't received them yet. They were lost in the mail.
So you may never receive them.
I think they're sending replacements.
Vox, this isn't just a centrifuge; it's just a shaker.
It does kind of the shape does sort of remind me of one of those little
tiny
centrifuges.
Yeah.
But so I just when I saw this, I almost laughed aloud.
The little vortex mixer
it's a little
mix paint.
So they had a YouTube video of it, and I mean, to their credit, I feel it would actually work pretty well, and it's probably a pretty good product.
Getting the right paint consistency is super important.
I thought
it through the body.
$125 is not cheap, but in the context of laboratory equipment, like the same basic shaker is
I mean, when I
at
found
least
it,
$180.
when I found it, I immediately sent links to my brothers, and then within a minute, Eric had taken a picture from the lab he was in of essentially that very thing.
Yeah, like it was literally like I clicked on the link Adam sent. I laughed to myself, walked into the cell culture hood, and took a picture of the same basic product.
Yeah, there it is, the Vortex mixer.
The mini mixer, but most of the vortexers that are on like all the benches in my lab are more complex than that, and they're like $300 to $500 each.
Yeah.
For like a
See, that's the
fucking
thing about
vortexer.
science. Like, you almost can't do experiments and independent research outside of an academic setting, in that all of the materials cost so much money, and probably a lot of them you can't easily get unless you have some university affiliation, unless of course you're buying it on eBay or something, because I know there's a bunch of people doing genetic engineering studies and stuff with equipment that they purchased on eBay.
Yeah, well, like, because like I think the research industry, like the suppliers and stuff of like things like this, realize like, hey, people are using grant money, or like industries are buying these, like let's up the price like dramatically.
Because it would not be hard, I would not think, to make a shaker like that.
Well, yeah,
It's
like just
a little motor.
Yeah, it's true.
In a rubber top.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as funny as it is, I think it would still probably be kind of nice.
And
I
you'd
mean,
be getting
particularly with
yourself
those
a deal.
contrast paints with all the pigments and stuff that
All
are
the
separate on
pigments
the
and
bottom.
matte media at the bottom that you can't get. Like, I'm looking at some apothecary white, and like, holy shit, you have to go at it to try to get that stuff into.
Well, actually, let's see. What do they
solution.
say about it? They have reinvigorate and revitalize dormant paints, compact, sturdy design, on-off technology. Fuck yeah, I love that on-off technology. Adjustable power settings, weighted body and suction cups ensure stability. No more painter's elbow when you get old paint. Yeah, so literally, like, the funniest thing I think is they're talking like they like specifically designed this for, and it's literally just.
Well, they even say it's laboratory grade technology, because like it.
That's literally
That's
what it is.
literally what it
Well,
is.
maybe when I leave my postdoc, I'll just take one of them.
Fox commented, maybe your lab will invest in an artist Opus.
It would be cheaper.
Well, Eric,
Yeah, that's great.
you could probably
I have
get
some
one with
grant
your
money. Yeah,
fellowship
I have
and
some grant money. I can get one.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's good.
Good times.
Love it. I love it. Oh, wait, actually, so there are two settings. Setting A allows the painter to press the paint pot, and that will turn it on. Setting B cuts off the
Oh my god, yeah.
So it's literally exactly the same. Yeah, so it's that's
damn,
so good.
it is.
So
Yeah.
they probably just looked at a bunch of ones that are offered by like different companies and decided this was the one they liked the best, and
This
It
was
got the
cheapest
same
one.
manufacturer to make the same thing. They just in a different color plastic.
Let's bring up the mini mixer. There it is. The mini
But
mixer.
the mini mixer, you can't change intensity.
Well, you might be out on the back.
Yeah, I feel you probably can. Most of the ones I've used, you can.
But well,
I bet our viewers weren't expecting we'd be talking about a vortex there.
I think I sent you a picture of one of the other ones, which is like even more expensive one.
Oh, let me see.
They're like.
When did you send it to me?
It was right after the mini mixer.
I don't know. Okay, I'll try and find it. Oh yeah, some of them, Eli, they do have like an internal switch, and some of the stuff depends on how forceful you're applying pressure. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so you hear this is a picture of the more heavy duty vortex mixers that they have, which is essentially exactly the same.
Yeah, there's a toggle switch for being on continuously or on just when you apply pressure.
LabNet International. That's a quality vortex mixer. What you should bring in some of the worst contrast paints. Just bring in a pot and vortex
see
the
how
hell
it
out of
works.
it and see how it works. And if it works well, then we can all vouch for Artist Opus's new product without even using it.
LabNet, that's the incubators that I've been using for some plate reader assays. Are LabNet.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So overall, I feel like it could be sort of nice, but the big thing is you just sort of have to question: do you have $125 to spend on something that's not necessary?
Well, so we should get one, and live on the stream, we should vortex some contrast paints that have been sitting around forever. That would be amazing content.
That would be amazing content.
That would be the content
I kind of feel
people crave.
Maybe this is sort of being hipster and elitist, but I kind of feel dumb getting one of these things and having like the Artist Opus brand name on there as though that they made this.
Yeah.
You could just cover that up.
I made this.
Yeah. No.
You made this?
Well, I mean, but I guess they're just playing. They're banking off of the fact that most people have never seen something like this. What does Eli say? We were looking at a patch panel at work recently that was quoted to us for $1,300. Then found an English company selling the same thing for $130. That's so good.
And Eli, you ask how much is the cheapest centrifuge? So do you mean like a vortexer here and not a centrifuge?
Centrifuges are a lot different.
But like the cheapest version that I saw just looking on Fisher Scientific of like an Artist Opus like product was like $180. I'm sure I could get something not from Fisher that would be a little bit cheaper, but I doubt it would be really any cheaper than the Artist Opus costs. So I don't think they're necessarily price gouging for it.
Yeah, so this little comic, I'm not sure who drew this, but to credit them, but this I feel gets across sort of the notion about the product.
Yeah. It always makes me smile.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, so Eli, you could use a centrifuge. You take your bottle of paint, put it in there, centrifuge it, and just suck all of the pigment out of like the liquid, and just all of the pigment would be in the bottom of the thing, and then you would really need to use this vortex mixer to get it resuspended again.
Yeah. I made this. You made this? I made this. I love that.
Yeah, so you could centrifuge all your paints, and then you would need the vortex mixer by Artist Opus.
Well, you could centrifuge. It would be a way to increase the pigment content of your paint. Centrifuge them down, remove a bunch of the medium, and then.
Oh, that's true.
Well.
Eli says, and then you could centrifuge them, then store them.
Yeah, well, maybe we should move off
and just throw them all out. Like, I've ruined these.
Yeah, well, maybe we should move on past her.
We've dallied here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah.
Everybody, listen to Drug Church.
You should.
So good. So good.
Yeah, well, what do we want to talk about now? I think Warhammer community page changed their site,
They
how
sure
it looks. Is it better? I think it's more confusing.
I think it's just more confusing. Well, so let's go to it. Like,
I don't really like it.
they have something at the bottom that. Wait a minute. Oh, you
There's
can
the latest
like
video.
thumbs up their articles. I think.
Well, towards that end,
I'm doing it. I'm thumbs up in the articles.
Oh yeah, you can, and then you can share them. Let's thumb this up.
On Adepticon's website, they have a thing for the Warhammer preview that's going to occur at Adepticon, and they claim that it's the biggest Warhammer preview ever.
Whoa. Well, are they gonna preview it? Like, will they have like a seminar room and like?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get tickets for it, but it's on Wednesday when we won't be there.
Cool. It would probably be hard to get in anyway.
The tickets are free, but you need one. And therefore you need to buy the Adepticon ticket to buy tickets.
Which they're like $40 or something. $40 US.
It says the preview will be the biggest Warhammer preview ever. It will have so much stuff. It's also for every Warhammer fan. It goes beyond the tabletop, and it's free. It means that they're going to show you information about their new moves and videos.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
That's what it means. Eli suggests that it hurts his eyes from a design standpoint, and I kind of agree.
That logo?
I thought he was referring to
the new website. Just
yeah, the new website. Yeah.
It just looks so.
Don't love it.
Busy and I don't know, kind of weird. Like before, it seemed like it was simpler. There was just the list of the articles.
We're at the site. Let's see. Let's say I want to go and see the.
I want to know about the Lumineth lowdown. What the fuck is that?
We don't want to know about that, Greg. That's just talking about the new high-ups. So we're at the main page. I want to see the previews at Las Vegas Open. Like how easy is it to find? So there's like is this like a scroll? Yeah, there's a scrolling thing down at the bottom. Well, that's not what I want.
Magos Bjor's here.
Can I even fucking find it? What the hell is... Okay, so the scroll thing down at the bottom really doesn't function well. I don't...
When I'm on it myself, when it's full screen, there's a thing beside the Lumineth lowdown that has reveals from LVO, and it's there.
Hey, just go to the ones that are most popular. They're the ones we want. That's the coolest stuff.
Oh, wait, I think I found it. It's this. Okay, so that wasn't that bad.
Someone was paid to design this.
I don't know. It's not better. I feel that's the big thing that can be said. It's not better. It's not better. Yeah. But
can we download stuff?
No, we can't.
No.
Can I unlike it? Well, I did it. Good. No, but this is for this article, not the thing. So we sort of already talked about all the Las Vegas Open stuff. Is there anything we would want to like touch on again that we think we didn't belabor enough?
I don't know. What do people in the chat? Are there any of these LVO releases that people are excited about that think like, wow, that's what I want?
I mean, I think it goes without saying that people want the Horus Heresy releases the most.
I mean, obviously.
Love them. Love them releases. Can't wait to see more cool Space Marines like that culturally insensitive White Scar with some samurai bullshit on there.
It's pretty neat. Eli suggests that he really likes the Sphinx model, and Bior seems to be excited about the prospect of Zotes coming back.
Yeah, the Zote's great.
Which I don't think anyone can really argue with that.
It's a shame, though. This will probably be the only Zote they will make, just like they only made one Ambull. But that's fine.
They made
the Ambots. The
Ambot.
That's true.
robots.
Actually, you know what? The Eldar model that I'm working on, he could be his group of other people with him could be these aliens and stuff, like the Zote and everything.
That's a reasonable. And a Hrud. Finish the Hrud.
Yeah, I was making a conversion of one of those models. I should finish that.
Well, I have the Ambull in the other room, Adam.
Yeah, I bought it and gave it to you. You can now give it back to me.
Yeah. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I mean, I assembled in thoughts that we might use it in Blackstone Fortress, and then we never did.
That's true.
It could still happen.
It could still happen. Well, so I guess that news means that they're going to have an expansion with that. Have they released like an updated version of the rules or anything, or was it just that expansion with the dumb-looking Chaos Cultists and Escalation? It was called, I think.
I think that's the major next step in the campaign.
Okay.
Whereas like the Commissar and the Ogre, that was like a small Ambull expansion.
That's true.
And maybe there was another one like that, but so I suspect this Zote will be like the Ambull, and eventually there will be the next large expansion. Hopefully that's more interesting, at least in model content, than the second one.
Magus Bjor says, just stop by to remind everyone the Emperor is a false god for his chaos. Fair. That's fair.
Maybe.
Eli says, what did you think about the new Ogroid? Actually, what is the Ogroid?
Is that the Warcry thing?
Did they show that on this?
That's maybe going up on pre-order or some shit.
No. I think that's true. Can we find it on here on their community site? Can we do it? Boy,
you can try. It might. I think it maybe went up for pre-order.
Yeah, I think I found it.
Amazing.
That's cool.
It's working, man.
Is it the Ogroid Myrmidon? It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I mean, it's not something I would want, but
I'd like to see better pictures of his shield. I bet it's on their website, or has it gone up for pre-order now, or is it this weekend?
I think it's this weekend. The one that's up on pre-order now are the expensive Zone Mortalis terrain.
Oh.
The larger set of that terrain that mimics what came in that newer Necromunda box, I think, is already sold out on Games Workshop.
Okay. Let's look. I want to see his shield. What does his shield look like? It's less interesting than I thought it would be, the shield, but it still looks good.
Is it just a Chaos Star on it there?
It's a not very pointy Chaos Star, and then there's some skulls.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty generic.
Skulls are cool.
They are.
Can't deny it. Can't deny it.
Well, he's similar. Is he like a similar model to the one in the Silver Tower game? They made like a sorcerer version.
The Thaumaturge.
Or whatever. Yeah, he looks kind of like that.
He does, but not the mage.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, I don't know what you'd use him for.
nothing.
I mean, I guess he's in
They
Warcry.
like
I don't know if I don't
You
know.
used
if that
him
means...
as a Myrmidon because that's what he was made to be.
Good point, Greg. Good point.
Whatever the fuck a Myrmidon is.
If you read more of your Age of Sigmar lore, Greg, you'd know.
Yeah, man. You should get on
I refuse to read the things that I buy.
that.
Yeah, well. Eli suggested it could be used for a demon conversion, which that is certainly true.
I mean, I think probably the coolest thing you could do is you could just replace his head with the Chaos Space Marine head, and you're done.
Vok suggests that it could be converted for a bodyguard for your Corsair. I say the Corsair doesn't need a bodyguard.
It would be cool, though, as a bodyguard. Or you could make it into, like, one of the grotesque models for the Dark Eldar. Make a cool one, because the official models from Games Workshop for them are atrocious. They're so bad.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're horrible.
I don't even remember them.
That's better. You don't remember them. Because they're awful. Like, they just, years ago, they just got done releasing an entire new army of Dark Eldar. Nearly every single model in the range was good. And then one of the last releases they did were for the grotesques. And they were essentially one sculpt that looked awful.
I think they were putting. Wasn't that around the time when Finecast became a thing?
So I don't think they might have only ever been made in Finecast. So it was like there was literally no reason to ever buy them.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. And you would have been much better to just convert them with like some of the Skaven, like rat ogres and stuff. Which I assume people did.
Yeah, it's true.
I wonder, has Larsonic Miniatures for his Dark Eldar army, he hasn't made any yet, right? I imagine he'll convert some cool ones.
Yeah, he just made some Talos like pain engines and like the Chronos pain engines, which are actually talking about conversions and stuff. We could talk briefly about Ward Sylvania's cool Sisters of Battle conversions.
That's a good idea.
Where he like takes some of the unmade masks and kind of combines them with the Blood Angels Sanguinary Guard, like the backs of their helmets, to like good effect. He really must have got a bunch because he must have got that special character you have, and
the funeral procession of Saint Catherine or whatever. Yeah,
and just the multi-part Sisters box because there's that little banner or whatnot.
Yeah, they look really good with those the unmade masks. Like really good.
Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. Did a nice the paint. Yeah, I think he painted one of them now. And wow, it's a nice. Where did we see that? He hasn't
posted it online yet, has he?
It was on Facebook.
Let me see if I can find it. I think I found it.
It was on the Facebooks.
Yeah, it's a nice like gold armor. Yeah, those masks are cool.
With the mouths and the eyes.
Yeah, they have like almost like pins going over the eye slits and stuff. Like really interesting.
But I like the paint scheme. It's pretty simple, and it makes me kind of wish I tried to do a similar thing with the Sisters I started to paint.
Wow.
But they'll be cool once I finish them.
Gold, I think, is a fun color to paint.
It is or isn't?
It is. I like painting it. And you can do
I have this new Vallejo acrylic model color air that, man, if I had that artist Opus Vortexer, fuck. Admittedly, it actually has like a steel ball or whatever inside of it.
Oh, that's cool.
That just came with it in an effort to help you better mix them. So,
Where you just have to keep working on your Red Sisters of Battle. They'll be cool.
yeah, I feel once I finish them, they'll be fine.
But I feel him using the little unmade masks is great. Like I feel I haven't seen too much use of those masks around, but I feel like those could be really easily slotted into so much stuff.
Didn't
like,
Dark Tech put some on some Deluxe models to pretty good effect for Jelita?
Yeah,
I think
he did a bunch of conversions with them. Like I feel they are right at home if you wanted to make like Blood Pact Imperial Guard and stuff.
That's true.
Like you
that
could
needs
probably
to be done.
take the Blackstone Fortress Guard and with a little work give them these masks. And they
actually
be cool.
And talking about guard and that sort of thing, and knowing that the biggest Warhammer reveal ever is coming up in like 2 months at Adepticon, what do you think will be revealed there? One thing that I think they will correct that they failed for in the most recent reveal is they'll finally get back to bring us cool Space Marines. Like
I think they'll have a Space Marine Lieutenant model, a new one. Like they've been joking about that for a while now, so I feel they almost have to do that.
Yeah, but I think they really dropped the ball for the LVO reveals, not having it dominated by Space Marines.
I'm hoping for more Funko Pops.
I think we all want that. Or like maybe they'll reveal more information about their new line of puzzles.
Oh yeah, the puzzles. That would be good.
And like shit.
I mean, in all seriousness, I'm sure there will be Space Marines.
They're almost.
It would be cool if there were like Imperial Guard.
Maybe they'll design new land speeders or something.
Yeah, it could be.
But it would be great if they release some more alien races or some.
You mean Gazcall? They'll make him again.
That's true.
That's coming. That'll probably be revealed.
That's true. We'll have more pictures of him.
Someone spliced together a bunch of the images that were in that trailer that partially kind of showed the model, and he looked pretty good.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I feel, will come down to how good or bad his head looks.
Yeah, it's true.
Because, like, the model Brian Nelson sculpted years and years ago had a really cool face.
Hopefully this one was sculpted by Brian Nelson. Like, he made that Age of Sigmar Mega Boss or whatever. That was pretty great.
That would
be neat. It would be neat to see him kind of take that idea to 40K. And just the fact that he made the Gazcall model already is pretty iconic and awesome, that it would seem kind of bad to have that awesome model go away to be made by someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make a new Yarrick model. Hopefully not, though.
Hopefully not. The current Yarrick model is, like, incredible. He's really good. He is the smallest Stormbolter Games Workshop has ever produced.
And will probably ever produce.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually looks like it was sort of sized for a human to carry it. Let's see if we can find it. Let's find it, man. I think you can only order them online. Or maybe I don't know what that means. But yeah, his Power Fist is too big. But I mean, I guess he took it from an orc, so that sort of makes sense. But his Stormbolter is remarkably small.
Yeah, it's great. Great model.
And his feet aren't too big. It's like, Jesus. Brian Nelson truly is an incredible sculptor.
Yeah,
He's
no,
just
it's
great.
awesome.
I should really make a conversion with the model because he's cool.
Yeah, I feel it's something that not many people work with. I mean, maybe partially because like he's not easy to get a hold of. Perhaps I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's
because it would be good.
I'd be interested to sort of see like how he's scaled with a lot of stuff now. I would imagine he's pretty small. It's been a while.
Yeah,
since I've
probably,
seen the
but
model.
it's hard to know though.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff changes so much. I feel, but yeah, you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I brought up pictures of the mini mixer again. Get inspired to start painting again, Eric. You're already painting, but
Yeah,
mini mixer will
true.
inspire you to new heights of painting. Fox says we need more Terminators. I feel we do need more Terminators. We need ones that are like well designed, but like I don't envision it happening.
Yeah, I don't really envision it happening anytime soon either, unfortunately.
I guess they released the Marnius Calgar model they released. He wasn't in Terminator armor, right? He was just in the Primaris whatever armor.
The Gravid armor.
Yeah, so there's a chance they'll release like a Primaris version of a Space Marine character that's in Terminator armor, and then that I feel like is the best chance of them making another like Terminator sized and well proportioned Marines.
I mean, they might make a Primaris Terminator armor. I mean, they've already made obviously the Gravis armor, which kind of fits that role, but I could see them like do it again as like, well, let's make Primaris bikers to kind of an excuse to remake the bike.
Yeah.
But not make
the Space Marine bikes really could use an update.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think they updated them a little with like some of the Ravenwing releases and stuff, but they're still pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. But you would imagine, I guess, if it's a motorcycle for a Space Marine, it would literally be the size of like a compact car, I guess. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't be small.
And so that was something that I always thought about. What does everyone think of having like a motorcycle with like guns attached to the front of it and then like driving around shooting them? That seems pretty stupid.
It reminds me of the trailer for the new James Bond film where James Bond is in his car, who knows, probably a fucking Aston Martin, and he's surrounded by bad guys, and then little Gatling guns come out of the lights, and he like spins the car around shooting. It is the dumbest shit.
Oh my god,
that sounds awful.
It is so dumb.
Wait,
that doesn't sound
Fox
even real.
Has made a clarification to our statement about needing more Terminators. She says we need more of the badly proportioned Terminators, I think.
Maybe they'll make another box of Warhammer Heroes and can give us some more.
Wait, Fox, you need more of those?
Because
that could be arranged.
It's been fun chatting about stuff. I hope some of the viewers, if you weren't familiar with like vortexers and stuff, now you know about them. And if you're really interested, Artist Opus will sell you one to mix your paint. It's up for pre-order.
Yeah.
Do they say when it's gonna?
Doesn't matter. We need to go to bed.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But thanks everybody for joining us and chatting with us. It's been fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you again soon. Until next
Yeah.
time.
See you, everybody.
See ya.